Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Sword of the Stars with me, your host Tim. I'm intending this video to be a quick 10-minute video explaining some atrocious mistakes that I have just done in Sword of the Stars and how it impacts us so far. Before I begin, I guess I have to explain how I do my recordings for this game, or how I had planned to do them, and why it has brought me to this very awkward situation at this moment, without any easy way to undo it. You'll note that I don't save the game when I play Sword of the Stars. You don't actually see me going and directly saving the game. This is because I'm pretty happy with the choices I'm making, and I'm willing to live with the decisions I make. In addition to that, the game autosaves for me at the end of all my turns, so if something goes horribly wrong and I feel like I need to undo something, I can just save scum and just reload the previous save. Well, it was annoying me that I had a few save games lying around from over years ago, and I don't like it when my save games begin to pile up very much, because I view it as clutter. You can ask my brothers all about me deleting save files for games they used to play when they were kids. I'm pretty bad at this sort of thing. I'm a terrible brother. Yeah, my brother Dave especially. I owe him a paladin, I think. In any case, what happened here was in my process of deleting old saved games, I accidentally deleted a current one. When I'm done playing Sword of the Stars, I make a new hard save, and I title it like Tim's Awesome Game Turn 33. Well, when I load a game, I just selected what I thought was turn 23. But in truth, I loaded turn 16 instead, and ended up redoing everything I had done in part 3. But not quite. I made different choices this time around, trying to take Rod of Dog's advice and explain a few of the things, well, why I was making different choices this time around. Now, I had two ways to try to undo this problem. Number one, I could just watch the video I had uploaded for part 3 and make all the same decisions to get me back to as close to the proper turn 23 as I could. But the game would do different things to me during this process, so it wouldn't quite exactly match. Next, I actually like the decisions I made with the redo of turn 16 to 24. Normally, I would never ever accept reloading from a previous save and continuing on. But this time, it's so early in the game, and I would like to show how much the differences have impacted us, that I'm deciding to keep this change. You'll also note up here we have turn 33. That's because I'm recording this part after I recorded part 4. It's even more complicated to explain because part 4 is uploaded to my channel already and set to private because it's ready to go. I just wanted to, instead of uploading a redo of part 16 to, from turn 16 to 24 and label it part 4, I decided I was just going to make this quick little video. We're going to leap in here. I'm going to show you the differences. So just be advised, everything from part 3 is basically kind of, a lot of it's the same, but some of it's different. So let's get in here really quick and I'll show you the current situation so you have a better idea of where I'm starting from in part 4.
System update. A few ships approaching Varkona.
The mystery has been solved, Varkona.
Yeah, the really sad part about this entire process is that I didn't realize my mistake until after I was done recording. When I was playing it, I was like, it feels like we've done this before. And yes, it's because we had done all of it before. Okay, so first off, everyone, I want to show the differences between the me in part 3 and the me now. I believe at the end of part 3, it was turn 23, and I had recolonized Volans 2. This is not going to be the case this time around. I have not decided to recolonize that planet. Instead, Wondergore is colonized, as is Badoon. And I can't remember off the top of my head if I had colonized these planets at the end of the last part. If not, then no, I have colonized them over here. And I will go into the colonization a little bit at the beginning of the next part. And if I don't do so, I will definitely do so at the beginning of part 5, which I'm going to be recording after I get your guys' opinion on a certain planet I want to reach. When it comes to research, I have not researched ultraviolet lasers this time around. I really want them, but Rod of Dog recommended that I take this upgrade instead. cybernetic interface. Originally, I had been very hesitant on taking this, believing that it could result in an AI rebellion, but I don't actually think that happens until later. And this is such a wonderful upgrade that I decided, you know what, let's absolutely take this advice. Cybernetic interface increases the industrial output of all worlds by 20%. That is actually an amazing upgrade. It ranks up there with with Waldo units for how freaking useful it actually is. I don't think there's too much of any other differences here. I'm currently researching English at the moment as well, so we'll be able to speak to the humans that we have discovered. I think we discovered the humans in the last part as well. If we did not, we have discovered them down here at Bob, which I am also heading over to colonize at the moment. Next, Rod of God has indicated that I can be more efficient with my planets by moving this slider over from construction to trade, because it reserves production on the planet if I don't do so. I have discovered, and Rod of Dog, I don't think this is actually the case. Let me show you what I see happening here. So on this planet, you'll note the income it's generating for me, $301,813. Moving the slider does not seem to change the income whatsoever that I'm making. If I was to build a ship, though, and add this to my queue.
Yes, Vakona. We'll have the ships out in no time.
Some of the planet's income has been swapped over to construction. I can move this around instead if I want. Note that if I move it all the way over here to the trade, I'm not actually building the gecko, because I have put all of my planet's resources, the budget, into trading rather than construction. When I begin moving it this way, you can see that I'm beginning to lose money, because instead of this budget going towards producing money for my nation, it is instead going for producing this ship. Once I reach a certain point, you'll note that it doesn't matter where I put it on this slider. Effectively, this amount of money, or this budget, whatever this is, our industrial output, has been considered already, and the game is automatically, or it looks like to me it's automatically, giving me the rest as trade without me having to put this slider all the way over here. Even if I was to move this slider, which as you can see just affects that as well, it doesn't actually begin to affect me until I put it more into trade, such that the ship would take me several more turns to build. So I do not think I am in, and Rod of Dog, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like I'm actually okay leaving all of my planets alone with this slider, because it looks to me that all the construction and trade is handled automatically for me with the computer. The way it works, it looks like that it automatically is giving me all the money I'm allowed to use, that I am not wasting any of this saved allotment here. It is definitely, I have 13,113 production capability because of where the slider is. Of it, I'm only using 3,034, and the unused production is automatically being given back to me as trade, not as reserved unused production or industrial output. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but this is what I'm seeing here. And in part 4, I went with that as the truth. So maybe there's something else I'm missing, but it doesn't look like that is the case. So I really think that's about it. I might have gone to a few different planets in this video than I did in the last one. We are going up here to settle Iran with this colony, with this group here, and with a group of defenders behind it. And I'm also heading over here to Irai with this group of colonizers. And I don't yet have a group going in there to back it up, but I think I will produce as such in the next part, in part 4. One more time, part 4 was already recorded. I re-recorded this, which I thought was part 4, ended up being just a redo of part 3, and I was so unhappy. I was like, no, I'm not even going to keep it. We're just going to go ahead and delete this instead, and we'll just pick up in the next part. I don't think there's anything. Oh yeah, and so this is why I'm also deciding not to colonize Volans 2. a size 2 with 13,000 cost, but meanwhile, I could be grabbing a size 4. 2 sized 4s, actually. One with a same price as the size 2, and this one even cheaper. And I decided I wanted these planets more than I wanted Volans 2. And same thing with Bob. I'm being more aggressive in my colonization. And I think that's really it, everyone. There's not much of anything else. I'll go over this a little bit as well in the beginning of the next part. One more time, I do apologize profusely about undoing the past 7 turns and redoing them. That was a complete accident, but I do like the situation I find myself in more now than I did before, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Alright, that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Again, my apologies. Tune in to part 4 where we'll pick up from here, and I will be keeping all my old save files as much as that will annoy me to no end from now on until this entire thing is completed, or until I run out of disk space, however long that takes. Alright, everyone. I'll see you in part 4.